Welcome to another episode of Speak to the Gynecologist. Today's video will be on miscarriage. I think before I start, let me just clarify that there are two terminologies that are being utilized quite incorrectly. Medical parlance, the word miscarriage means unplanned, spontaneous loss of a pregnancy before it attains viability, which is 24 weeks or 28 weeks, depending on where you are, which part of the world. The word abortion is being erroneously used to describe spontaneous loss of pregnancy. In gynecology, especially dealing with loss of pregnancy, abortion is supposed to be a pregnancy that has been terminated. So somebody interfered with the pregnancy and got it terminated, maybe because the person didn't want the pregnancy. So in this discussion, the word miscarriage means a pregnancy that you wanted, but unfortunately you lost it. While abortion is left for termination of pregnancy. I know that some doctors still misuse that terminology, but outside this country, the word you use is miscarriage. When you lose a pregnancy without any plan, you wanted to keep that pregnancy. The reason for miscarriages vary, but most miscarriages that occur in the first 12 weeks, about 60-80%, there's something wrong with the baby. It's chromosomal. Pregnancy is the journey of the woman's egg and the man's sperm, and they begin to subdivide. And quite often something goes wrong along the line. So it's not the fault of the woman. In a way, nature has like a quality control system that screens all the pregnancies, trying to screen out the bad ones. So when you have an early miscarriage, in a way, nature is helping you not to have an abnormal baby. So a woman should not grieve over it. And it happens at a time when nobody really knows you're pregnant anyway. Quite often, either it comes as a delayed period or very early in pregnancy before you get to know you're pregnant. There are various types of miscarriages. I'll just run through them. There's what they call threatened miscarriage, which means a woman is bleeding, she's having abdominal pain, but an ultrasound scan has confirmed that there is an ongoing viable pregnancy. Viable means there's a heartbeat. So even though she's bleeding and having pains, bleeding is not much, but the baby is there and the heartbeat is there. We call that threatened miscarriage. The pregnancy can go either way. When you have a threatened miscarriage, there's a 50-50 chance it will stay or it will come out. It does not depend on the patient or on the doctor. Is there any treatment for miscarriage, threatened miscarriage? No. Is bed rest useful? Capital no. Bed rest is useless. It's wasting a woman's money, giving her false hopes by keeping her in bed, and increasing the chances of getting DVT, deep venous thrombosis, by lying down. Bed rest has nothing to do with pregnancy or miscarriages. I want to emphasize that now. You're not carrying an egg between your legs that will fall off if you walk around. You can go about your normal business. The only occasion where we advocate admission of a woman is for her own sake. If a woman is bleeding heavily, we want to control their bleeding. It's for the sake of the woman, not the baby. There is nothing you can do when a woman is bleeding regarding the baby. There's nothing a doctor can do, because a pregnancy that's destined to come out will come out. The one that will stay would stay. But you can admit a woman if she's bleeding heavily to be able to monitor her and make sure she doesn't bleed heavily. And when she's bleeding too much, you might do an evacuation just to minimize the bleeding. But as regards pregnancy, admitting her on what I hear is called absolute bed rest, even though I never understand what it means, putting her on a drip, giving her sedatives, there's no justification for that. A woman can carry on with her normal life and hopefully the bleeding will stop on its own. I cannot tell you when it will stop, but the good thing is if it doesn't get heavy and the blood changes color from being red to being dark, it means there is no further fresh bleeding. Then normally wait for 7-10 days and repeat the scan and see. And you can find that the scan, as long as the baby is growing and bleeding continues, don't worry about it. It means that despite the bleeding, your pregnancy is progressing, and hopefully when the bleeding stops, it goes back to being a normal pregnancy. That's what. This second type of miscarriage is called inevitable miscarriage. It means that the womb is open, unlike in threatened miscarriage where the womb is closed. In this case, the womb has opened up. Sometimes I can even feel the sac. The pregnancy is still alive, but it has to come out. The womb has opened. Eventually, the membranes will rupture and that pregnancy will come out. We call that inevitable. When it's in that form, it's inevitable miscarriage. When it now comes out, it might come out completely, which means everything comes out and the womb is empty. We call that complete miscarriage. Or it can come out partially. The pregnancy is out, but what you call some products of conception stay back in the womb. We call that incomplete miscarriage. And if you do a scan, you won't see any more fetus, but you will see things that are left in the womb. Sometimes if bleeding is not heavy, allow the woman, give her a day or two, it might come out by itself. If it doesn't come out by itself, you don't need to do an evacuation. Like this mad rush to go and evacuate, invasive procedures, people tend to shy away from them because whatever you do on the womb, doesn't matter what you do, you're leaving a scar on the womb. And subsequent pregnancies, the placenta tends to look for scars. They tend to implant them. And then when a woman has a baby, the placenta won't come out. So there's medical management. There are tablets you insert in the vagina, which give a woman 12 to 24 hours. The remaining products will come out. So don't rush to do an evacuation unless the woman is bleeding heavily. If she's having pain, give her pain relief. Keep her comfortable and watch her. You don't have to admit if it's a small pregnancy. The products will come out at home. You can review her a day or two or three later, do an ultrasound scan. But there's this tendency in this part of the world to go do evacuation. Well, out in the West, people tend to be more expectant. They're more conservative. They wait for it to happen by itself. As long as the woman is stable, her observations are normal, then don't rush with the evacuation. Give her time to come out by itself. Let surgical intervention be the last option. Use medical management, which is available now to you. I mean, every doctor knows it. Midwives are taught how to do it before you start thinking of using the syringe to evacuate. The next form of miscarriage, what we call missed miscarriage. That's when the baby dies, but the products retain inside the womb. They don't come out by themselves. And when you do a scan, you can find that this pregnancy that was maybe supposed to be 8 weeks is now about 6 weeks old, because it may have died 2 weeks earlier, but nobody knew about it. Again, if you give them time, quite often, within 2 weeks, they start bleeding. And the pregnancy, in 50%, it will come out by itself without anybody doing anything. Again, later, if you temporize and be patient and explain to the patient there's nothing wrong, pregnancy being there doesn't cause any infection, you don't need any antibiotics. If you wait a little bit, pregnancy might come out itself. You save the woman the intervention of going to do an evacuation. Then you have what you call the blighted ovum. Blighted ovum means there's a gestation sac, but there's no pregnancy inside. Again, the management is the same as for missed miscarriage. You give it time, it might come out, or you can use medical management. Inside the tablets in 24 48 hours, the products will come out. Let evacuation, or the so-called DNC, be the last option. And if you have enough patients, you might find that in less than 5-10% do you need to evacuate. Pregnancy, and it's safer for the woman, because studies have shown that whenever you go into the womb, no matter how mildly you evacuate, you are leaving a scar on the endometrium. And whenever she gets pregnant, like I said, placenta seems to like scars. They look around wherever there is a scar, they implant there. Then you have the chemical pregnancy, which the pregnancy test is positive, but when you check, you don't see, you do a scan, you see nothing. That one has taken care of itself. Obviously, the pregnancy didn't implant and nothing happened about it. So miscarriages, like I said, you have the threatened miscarriage, you have the incomplete miscarriage, you have the complete miscarriage, you have the missed miscarriage, you have the blighted ovum, which will be removed medically, you have the chemical pregnancy. But in most miscarriages, like I said, it's not the woman's fault. In about 60-80% is chromosomal. Sometimes it could be infection that caused it. Sometimes it could be abnormal formation in the womb, anatomical malformations in the womb. So, but basically, it's not the woman's fault, and the woman should not blame herself, and nobody should blame her. There is no treatment for miscarriage, and women should avoid being admitted for so-called bed rest. And evacuation done, a woman, if you know enough, tell the doctor, can I wait a bit? See whether this thing will come out by itself. It's safer for you, it's cheaper for you. Thank you. If you like this video, please, if you have any questions to ask or any comments, I'll appreciate if you can make those comments, ask questions. I'll try and reply to them. Thank you.